Alright, guys, show you a little trick. You can also do this with furniture or anything in your house. And I don't like to use the back view at all because there's no point in it. I know why other people use it, especially the yoga chicks out there. But no point because everything you have to do in life is straightforward and with aggression, which in some of the apologist type yoga, which they call yoga, no offense to some of the cool ones, but we're not into the apologist shit here. You know, we're outright aggression, bare fist on concrete. If you happen to be a truck driver or worked in a warehouse on job assignments, kind of stuff that can be very useful without me having to flat out tell you scenarios here. Stuff that I won't deny. I won't outright say, but I won't deny either, put it that way. But anyway, for the beginning, say if you want to do a full-blown split, you got some kind of furniture or whatever, use it. You use shit like this too. And some people want to slide around on socks. That's for the dancers and the girly stuff and the yoga stuff. You can do that separately on furniture in your own place. Do some of that. But you have boots, when you have combat boots and cement, you got the advantage. Maybe you're not ready to slide yet. Do a little bit of this. But then when you do the stuff like on socks so you can slip and slide, which people swear by, you know, you can do a push-up, go up, and then down. Well, this, you can go a little more, come back out of it, and then like that. You know why? Because you got to climb up a wall and everything else too. You're strengthening that, pushing up and down. Or if you're ever did any kind of thing on them parallel bars when you went in gym class in school, and say you're not in school anymore and you work various jobs you hate, you know, you go outside instead of having a smoke break or sneak and smoke a joint, you do something that might be useful out there, you know what I mean? But like say if only your flexibility is only this much, you can do whole sessions of this. Just do it a little bit gradually. This looks boring, but it looks boring doing it in a video, but there you go. And say you can stay like this. So what it looks like in the front is like, well, you do this. Let me move the camera. You do this, right? Using an item like, so that you can eventually do this. Say in socks, maybe you don't want to slide. You know what I'm saying? And I got baggier pants and stuff. Then, like that. See what I mean? And then you can do sessions of sliding around in socks later. And some of us have such stubborn hamstrings in a way that you can almost be not all the way down and you can stand up and... But see, you get to it a little bit at a time. Then you can sit there as long as you need. And everything I do in all my videos, why they're not completely all the way down, because they're not based on your ultimate goal always being full split. My thing is act like you don't want to do it, and then you wind up gradually doing it a little bit at a time. And what I do, it's basically off of, say, you don't care if you can do a whole split. It's not really your goal. My stuff was based on some other stuff that I looked at all over the world. One of it was a Persian medieval type martial art thingy, where you don't have to be no martial artist. You use Indian clubs to actually crank your wrists and crank your shoulders and triceps and what have you. And in their ritual, they have like a push-up board. And a lot of their stuff is they do it with their legs real wide. And it indicates in that culture that it doesn't really require you to be flexible. I mean, to do a full split. But I imagine a lot of them probably could. But I merged that with, okay, all the other stuff to any of you guys that used to be in school, and some of you kids right there that really shouldn't be on people's videos to start with. I don't care if you are, but it's like, you want to do it, you learn something right. Say, some of us that are out of school, you had the people that did their athletics, their cheerleading and majorette stuff, what have you. Show indications of that in pictures. I'm trying to take some of them down and redo them because I wasn't bothered about it yet, but due to copyright concerns, I think some of them images, what I was trying to project, I should really be asking permission to use them or find things that are free domain. But say, you know, you got to do research for the, like, your American style, we use the Meadow Indian clubs, right? And, for example, I worked in scrap yards and places and warehouses where the truck drivers around here, there's all kind of heavy metal objects that you can use to crank your wrists. Or if you're a truck driver, particular items that you can, instead of going out smoking, just go knuckle push-ups with the whatever pry bar in your hand. For an innuendo, if you're out there on the truck or you're out there in front of a warehouse, so no, an innuendo of don't fuck with me, you know what I'm saying? But I am trying to merge it with that. And I mean, there were certain people out there, oh, I got to do all this work, I could never be a member of a gym. Why the fuck you need to be dependent on the gym? Fancy, expensive machines, I'm not putting them down, but you need a fucking expensive machine, those people got to have a way to make a living, I guess. But very expensive, you buy one, but then you go to a gym, it's for a social thing. But if you got no time for it or whatever, or I've got to explain all that, but stuff that can be achieved right there. I worked in scrap yards where I had access to a lot of different items, and I got a couple metal bars that I still have right now, 4 of them featured in my videos. I'll show you them later again, but I got them like ridiculously cheap. I asked them and got them for the price I'm the only one that you'll ever see, instead of selling scrap at a scrap yard, like, I'm probably the only one, you're looking at the only one who ever actually bought something from a scrap yard for a purpose. Well, the one I worked, they had things that were certain tools and items that instead of scrap, they, you know, like they'll scrap certain items. If it's some kind of necessary tool or an item, they'll put it aside and sell it to people. The one I worked at too, that's another story, but so that's why I do what I do. It's the Swiss Army knife attitude, well, you're there anyway mentality, I mean. But they said too, you know, you don't have to be always yoga pants or whatever. Oh yeah, anyway, what I was getting to, instead of the push-up board that people in that region used, I mean, your implement, staff, baton, or whatever, is your push-up board. It's all the same, you know what I mean? All at once, but then you want to use a couple kettlebells, the heavier ones, and use it as a handle. You know how you buy them push-up bars with a handle? Use a kettlebells instead, but you do got to watch they don't fall over and then you smash your hands. But in my case, I'm already prepared for that. I can do this. But then this isn't very hard to do when you're in this position. You're using less the weight. So here we go.